Woo! What's up, gang? How y'all doing? How y'all doing? I am working on a video about the finals and our creators, kind of, sorta. But I was like, hey, let me do a lagging filler video. It's kind of funny, but probably not. So to have in between, I was gonna make a gameplay video, but then I was like, hey, last thing was a gameplay video. Let's make a rant. And so, we're not, I guess, bringing it back 'cause we haven't done it, but we in the rants. Let's go. So I'm gonna start talking about the new Gundam series. I think it's The Witch of Jupiter. Witch from Jupiter, whatever it's called. It's like a school thing where they're all fighting over this one woman who's like the daughter of the head CEO of the companies that do the Gundams, but they aren't Gundams, and gun modules are not allowed. Whatever. It doesn't really matter at this point. You should watch it. It is good. I don't know. I went through the basic thing of it because it really doesn't matter. But basically, um, and she ends up being a prodigy because her sister. Also, spoiler alert. I should have said that first. But their mech is her sister, and they're like linked together, and she becomes the chick's wife. But then she's like, I need to set her free. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna break her heart. Because, all right. So what happens is she sets her up. She's like, if I win, you have to do, or the main character goes, if I win, you can do whatever. Right? I don't remember. Once again, not important. We're not talking about that here. We're talking about the other person, right? But the wife and the guy who she gets to win the duel to become her husband, right? Because they're like Battle City rules where if you duel, you have to put stakes up. I don't watch the Battle City. I meant the school, like the Cipher dorms in GX, whatever. They have to put up like stakes for it, right? And the girl stakes are the mech, or the guy. Sorry, the dude who is fighting for the wife. His stake is the chick's mech, who is also her sister, right? And the main character's wagers, whatever, it doesn't matter, right? But you see the the wife making a deal with the mother to that the daughter doesn't have to be part of her whole plan anymore, and so and the wife, she's like, oh well, I have to cheat because the main character is just too cool and too sick, and she's gonna win any other fight that I throw at her.
Alright. What will you win yourself tonight? Spin the wheel for the chance of a hot meal. Alright. Spin the wheel for a deal. You might win a hot meal. Oi, what's all the talk about? Why are they still here? Walk them out. Election comes and they all pour out. I never see them round here where the poor's about. Bunch of pussies shouting back and forth. See how the claws come out, meow, ooh. And I'm here, 3 layers sat in the coldest seat. World outside is burning down. My flat still won't hold the heat. When was it great? Someone lied again. Seems like price of life's on the rise again. Wait, someone lend me a fag then. Alright, what will you win yourself tonight? Spin the wheel.
So they do cheat, and they have like an EMP for the gun system, right? And so she loses, and then the wife is like, "Oh, and she's lying, but she's still like the main character thinks it's true. Oh, what? Oh, I was lying to you. I was using you the whole time. You should have seen through, but you were a great pawn. Get the fuck out, right? I set you up to lose your gun." And then she gets the sister, which is the mech, to tell her that to get the sister to tell the main chick, which who doesn't know it's her sister in the gun. At this point, right, she finds out when the sister comes out to say, "Hey, I've been the one doing this for you. You can't rely on me and mom anymore. Get fucked, you fucking loser. We don't love you. We've just been using you." And I'm like, damn, this bitch's plan to like have this girl not have as much trauma is to make everything and everyone that has ever that she has ever loved abandon her, except for her schoolhouse that she has met a couple of months ago. But she was willing to die for that fucking woman, bro. Absolute fucking Retarded shit, bro. How is that your solution to trying to make her have a better life? Like, you fucking dumbass. Okay, and while we are ranting about Gundam, we're gonna rant about the season character. 'Cause I have whole other problems with him by himself. I mean, it's also the bitch that he's with. But bro, he folds so fast. He gets pussy once, immediately abandons his best friend, steals his fucking fiance because she turns racist and she's like, I'm gonna use him against his own people. Let's see if you can hear it. Shit. But basically, he is like getting traumatized, and he's like, "I'm gonna leave the war because I don't want to be a part of this. I hate both sides." When this girl fucks him, and he's immediately like, and the girl who fucks him is his homies, his homeboys, like fiance, and he's like, "I will fight in the war to save your people." And she's a manipulative bitch, 100% right. And his homeboy goes to talk to her. He won't even let the fiance that she broke up with, talk to her. Like, she left his ass and she talked to him once to break up with him. Never again. He wanted to have a conversation with the bitch, and she went and hid behind the motherfucker. And then, like, and I get it, the motherfucker's traumatized, but like, I've known people who have killed people and who were virgins, and they wouldn't fuck over their friend just for some pussy just because they're traumatized. Like, that's crazy, bro. You're a fucking coward. So, fucking 6-7 has been a thing recently. So I've been thinking more about, or I've been listening to more Skrilla, right? And I was listening to Goddamn. And I am convinced that he thought of the phrase King of Zombieland and then was like, I gotta find a way to rhyme. And then he was like, "Cause I'm the king of zombie land, goddamn." And he was like, "That's it. That's how we're making the song." And now we have goddamn. That's like, I don't know, bro. It just I am convinced. There is no proof, but I am convinced. Let's try this shit. Did y'all should listen to his newest album though. It's pretty cool. I think it's interesting. It's based on, or at least all the names and shit are based on his religion, which is this polytheistic African religion, I think, but I can't remember the name. These taste worse like with ice and shit when you use a Zippo because of the butane, but it looks so much cooler, especially for camera. So I have to do this. But now I can talk to you guys like this. Yeah, but I don't know. I like Skrilla. He sounds a little funny, and I understand that's why he got into got made into a meme. But his songs like definitely do have a vibe. Like Bippin' Ain't Easy and shit. Like he's got a lot of songs that I'm like, or that I'm like, they just have like, I don't know, that like downtown vibe. It does have that like dark, but not like gothic. You know what I mean? I don't know how exactly to describe it, but I like the feeling of um, Skrilla. It definitely gives like a feeling. And now we're gonna flip to the other side instead of this episode. I want to talk shit about Pete Davidson for a second. I've seen some people defend him for the Riyadh Festival, be like, well, at least he's honest. He's admitting the issues with like being there, and that there are things over there that he normally wouldn't like when he's here, and that he may not agree with, but he's getting paid to look the other way. I would like to remind you, this man's father was a firefighter who died on 9/11. This is the man who made a movie about, like, talking about the firefight, like, with a big plot point, King of Staten Island, right? Talking about the firefighters in 9/11 and how they, like, sacrificed their life to protect everyone. And he's just fucking turning the other cheek, going to the fucking festival, and he's gonna sit there and fucking suck the dick of the leader of media or whatever the fuck it's called over there. He's just a fucking weasel with no spine, and I think that should be pointed out. And people are, because some people are getting a lot of hate for it, like Bill Burr, and they should. Um, Especially when it's the people who are like, "Oh, free speech, you can't say anything. Eat shit and die, dude. Fuck you." Like, I swear to God, you're all so fucking pathetic. But there are some who are like, people are like giving some excuses to, like him. And then there was the Indian guy who was like, this is how, you start free speech. But it's like, you're not going to be pushing the boundaries. You're just going to be saying shit that the government's okay with. You're just making sanitary media for the government to show, like, hey, we're not evil. Look, we have comedians. In the same way that they made Bill Burr be like, oh wow, they have a Starbucks. They must be fucking advanced and cool and not be evil. Because there's no way a CEO of a major copy company would a also be evil because corporations are evil. And B, wouldn't just try to expand every possible place. And it doesn't. Whatever. We're done with it. You don't want to hear my take on politics. It just pisses me off. It's so like anti-comedian. It's I was watching the pizza bomb heist from Wendigoon. Wow, there's no smoke of that at all. I was watching it, and he said it, and I just, it resonated with me. Fucking serial killers are so, well, he didn't say this exactly, but this is how I took it. He said this much more respectfully, but I'm just gonna say that this is exactly what he meant, and there is no different interpretation. Well, even if you take his words at face value, that is wrong. He meant this. But serial killers are fucking overplayed as shit in the true crime sphere, and they're just overhyped because they're the easiest piece of content to consume. I think that's the most inflammatory way to say it. I really was like, couldn't think of anything else. But I don't know. I think they're just over fucking done. Um, because like every single serial killer, it's just the same shit over and over again. It's like this guy killed people, and he did it because he had a bad childhood, and he was bullied, and he was made fun of for insert reason that he was different than other people, but he was surprisingly charming and something, something, something. And then they have some fucking random gimmick to them that is like, I don't know, it's like putting a skin on the same character. Like, it doesn't fucking change anything. It's still the same shit. It's still just some fucking traumatized guy who went batshit insane and killed people. But in like robberies and shit, there's all these just fucking like insane plans, and it links to like four people, and the story is more about how it happened. Well, I guess so in a serial killer, but how it happened is just like the backstory of why a guy is traumatized, which is usually the same shit over and over again. But that's neither here nor there. Um, but it's more focused like how it happened is more focused on the crime itself and like the planning for the crime rather than why the people are doing it. Because the why the people are doing it like is kind of inherent in like it being a fucking bank robbery or like it being a drug sale. Like they were there to sell drugs, right? And the life choices are like kind of secondary because the main thing you want to know about is how the things are happening. I'm just saying a drug cartel and robbing. They're fresh in my fucking mind from him mentioning it in the pizza bomb video. And like, don't get me wrong, they do mention them, but they kind of, in most like, when I'm listening to something about a robbery, it's going to be like they will talk about the people involved, but they're much more like pieces of the puzzle rather than the entire puzzle like it would be in serial killers. So they just have like this person was annoying and did this and this and this and this is why, you know, and then that's it. Whereas for serial killers, they're like they were 10 and they got hit. And then they were 12 and then they were 10 and a half and then they got hit. And then they were 11 and then they got hit. And then they were 11 and a half and then they got hit. And they were 12 and then they got hit. And then they were 12 and a half and then they got hit. And then they were 13 and they got hit. And then they got 13 and a half and they got hit. And then they were 14 and they got hit. And then they were 14 and a half and they got hit. And then they were 15 and they got hit. And they were 15 and a half and they got hit. And then they were 16 and they got hit. And then they were 16 and a half and they got hit. And then they were 17 and they got hit. And then they got 17 and a half and then And then you got 18 and they got hit, and then they got 19 and they got hit, and then they got 18 and a half and they got hit, and then they got 19 and a half and then they got 20 and they killed everybody. And it's like, oh, cool, let's just do this. Watch this 18 more times. I just get bored with repetition. I don't know if also with robberies, there's more like actual action as opposed to like a guy just killing another person. You know, and if in a serial killer, you might get lucky and find and have a fight with the cops. But in a bank robbery, you're almost certain to have a sick ass duel with the cops. Also, popular MMOs. Dude, he's sober, which is cool because the last time I saw him, he was trash. Uh, why am I saying that like it's like I fucking know the motherfucker. Nah, but like I watched him a lot as a kid, so it's cool to see that he's finally starting to do better instead of everything else that I had heard about him previously. Which, if he had not been kept caught up on popular MMOs, we're not good. So he's sober and he's moving forward. And I respect the fact that he put out the video of him drunk talking to the camera after he got sober. Because I'm like, bro, better man than I could not catch me dead, bro. There was a stream after like our most recent breakup where I was just like chugging a bottle of wine on stream, just like crashing out. She's gone now. It do not exist, thank God. But I obviously did not post that for very obvious reasons. Then he was like, "This is an example of what not to do." I'm like, "Better man than I, my guy. Better man than I." And but I will tell a story about when I was a degenerate teenager. I had seen, I would rewatch Fear Loathing in Las Vegas, and then I had saw Ether, and I was a degenerate teen. I was like, wait, let me look at Ether. I was like, oh, wait, this is pretty easy to make. And then I start cooking it's not the isopropyl, it's the other one of like the rubbing alcohols, and I'm mixing that with nail polish remover. That's what it was, and I put it in a an open container over the stove. And I turn it on, and and if you're in any way familiar with the chemicals, you might say, "Hey, isn't it extremely dangerous to breathe the smoke of those in?" Yes. And I immediately got very sick, turned it off, poured it out, and went to bed, and then was like dying and dying for the next like 3, 4 days, which is when I went from my mom's house to my dad's house on a weekend. So that was obviously a blast. But yeah, uh, I was very stupid, and I just think that story's kind of funny. But I don't really have much else to say, so it's been real. It's been fun. It's been real fun. Fuck you. That was a weird one.